Well, get out there and swing that coil. There's so much just waiting to be found. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. Now, as most of you know, I had to take a break last week to recharge my batteries, and I just want to thank everyone out there for their understanding. A lot of people don't realize it, but I put in at least 50 hours of hard work each week to get a 20-minute video out every Thursday. And because of that, sometimes my brain and my body just tells me stop. And that's what happened this past week. Well, for this episode, I just wanted to stick close to home, so I decided to go to one of my favorite permissions, a huge field alongside the river where a bunch of mill worker houses once stood. Now, this place has been pounded to death by myself and Chris and all kinds of different machines, but I really wanted to show you as well that no matter what, no site is ever hunted out. Now, we just gotten a nice big rainstorm, and I decided I was going to strap that beast of a 15-inch coil onto my Equinox 800. And I just wanted to go out there and really punch deep on some targets. But most of all, I wanted to go out and enjoy myself. And as you're about to see, I definitely enjoyed myself. Well, I have to say, very impressive with the 15-inch coil here on the Equinox 800. I was getting a pretty darn good signal, about 17, 18. I had to go down about 14 inches, and I got this old fitting, probably some kind of plumbing, but it does say Sterling on it, so it'd be interesting to look that company up, see if I can find anything out on it. But I mean, it's a big hunk of metal, but did a good job. 14. Thank God the soil's nice and moist. That would have been a bear getting it out, but yeah, happy with the performance of that one. Well, this one was giving me a 19 up to a 21. I finally fished it out, and it's actually looks like a smushed Lincoln, early weedy. It is egg-shaped right now. Can't quite make the date out. Hopefully I will when I get back home, but kind of a oddball little thing there. Well, it's kind of an interesting hole here. There's a lot of stuff in this hole. It was giving me a 15, nice repeatable signal. About 9 inches down, I pulled out little mason jar lid. So we got the insulator in it. So I was like, okay, well, that proves there's still signals out here. And then I looked down and I saw this. It's an old pocket knife. So that was pretty cool. And you can still see the little ring here where they would have had a chain on it. Then I looked back down in the hole one more time and check it out. All the way down at the bottom, about 9 inches. Model T valve stem cap. I'll definitely be fishing around this hole before I cover it up, but that's pretty cool. Not a bad hole at all. Well, I might have just gotten lucky here. That 15-inch coil is really good at separating too. Don't let the size fool you on that thing. It will definitely separate the targets, because I was getting a pretty substantial iron tone and just a blip of the 12, but it was repeatable both ways. So I mean, it was a nice target. So I dug down and I've got something round in the hole. I have no idea what it is. I'm gonna pull it out together and see what it is. I was hoping for an old nickel, but let's see. I think it's a V. Hard to tell right now. Well, I was thinking shield nickel, but those will usually ring 11 on the Equinox. It is a shield nickel. Get out of here. I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh. Oh, it is. Look at that. You can see the shield. Holy cow. Definitely the oldest coin I've found here. I've gotten a couple Indians out of here, but unfortunately it's really worn, but I will take it. Heck yeah, shield nickel. All day, any day. Well, I got another 12 and dug down, and not a shield nickel this time, but check it out. Little spoon handle. Oh wow, look at that. That plating certainly held up very nicely. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I might even get a maker's mark off this one, but definitely like that. Definitely has some age to it. Well, I had to come back because this is actually a company I haven't found before. It says Royal Saxony silver plate. So I've definitely never come across Royal Saxony before, but I should be able to date the pattern. Pretty cool. Well, we have another mystery find solved this week, thanks to all of you watching last week. You might recall a beautiful little object that I dug out of the front lawn of that 1789 house. Now, I want to thank all of you who really gave me some great guesses as to what this piece exactly was. And I think Karen Jones was the one that really nailed it. She'd been watching the video and then let me know that she thought that this was a Victorian era women's handkerchief holder. Now, that also led me to discover that these were also used in Victorian times as skirt lifters. They were attached to either side of the skirt, and they would use them to raise the skirt when they were trying to go upstairs or even sit down in a chair, where they were wearing those big, huge dresses of the time. So a huge thank you goes out to Karen and everyone else out there that helped to finally allow us to get a grip on this find and to make this mystery find a mystery solved. Well, this next hole was giving me a 15 and dug down and check it out. Yep, old Model T valve stem this time. So I've got the cap and the valve stem now. Pretty cool. Well, this next one was giving me a pretty decent high tone. 27, 28. Finally went down about 7 inches and popped it out. But it's an old brass buckle, little D buckle. It looks like it had an iron pin in the center, so yeah, it's definitely an old buckle right there, and nice little find. Well, this must be another day of Model T parts. I'm pretty sure I've got one of those lift the dot fasteners. Maybe get it. Oh yeah. Yep, that's exactly what this is. So another early fastener. And like I said before, these are called lift the dots. They still make them today, but obviously this one is really old. And they did use these a lot on Model Ts for the convertible top boots. So another Model T part. I got this big field and I love just bringing that big coil and just going after the deep stuff, and this is exactly why. A good 13 inches, a nice honest 13 inches down. Oh, I worked for this one. Look how much dirt is on that drop cloth. And it finally popped out. Check it out. That is a pocket watch frame. That is awesome. Very awesome. Wow. Kind of nice. Oh, I tell you what, that was worth it. This is a really great looking relic right there. Well, you have to excuse the noise. They're mowing the field. I was getting a 15 to 17 signal, and this one was deep, 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 deep. I mean, 16, 17 inches down. I thought I had an axe head. I had to go get my shovel to pry it loose, but it's actually an old hoe, and it's definitely an old one. Pretty heavy duty too. So very cool. I definitely like that. Well, still working the field here, and got a really nice 12 signal. Now, most of the time out here, 12 is usually big iron or trash, but I kind of called this one. I said, man, this almost sounds like a nice nickel, and check it out. There is a nickel down there. So I grabbed the camera. We'll see what it is. I'd say it was about 6 inches. I can't tell yet. Let's see. Oh, heck yeah. Look at that. Beautiful buffalo. Looks like no date, but, oh yeah, there you go. There's the buffalo side. Wow, that's pretty darn cool. I will definitely take that. Well, a couple days later, I was driving through town and I saw a friend of mine next to one of the houses he owns. Now, this house actually belonged to his parents, and they bought it way back in the 1930s. And at the time, it was considered an old house then. We believe the house was built in the late 1800s. Now, he has quite a few properties in town, and he always is more than happy to let me hunt them. And this time was no exception either. He graciously gave me permission to hunt all around it, and I have to say, I'm really happy that he did. Definitely got a cool piece right here. Really scratchy 18 signal. And as soon as I dug it, I'm like, it looks familiar. And this is the second one I found. It's missing part of it, but it's actually in the shape of a bell. And this is an old advertising piece for a Dr. Bell. I forgot what kind of product he makes off the top of my head right now. Can't see too much right now, but I'll try to clean it up, give you a better look. But this is going to be late 1800s, early 1900s. Definitely a cool old advertising piece. Well, I really like this next one. It was giving me a 19 and 20 on the Equinox, just about 5 inches down. And check it out. It's an old wheel to an old toy car. It's got the wire spoke wheel. That is pretty awesome. I wish I had the whole car that went to, but I definitely like this piece. Well, I'll tell you what, I love this next find. It was a 13, and at first it just looked like some scrap, but then I thought, no, I think it's a typeset. And it is. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in on this. Let me see. To where you can make it out. But it says Newport. And it's an old newspaper typeset. But the reason I love it so much is because that's the town I'm hunting in. That is so awesome to find one that says Newport. So, pretty darn neat piece there. And very happy to have that. Well, I was just hunting next to this big tree in the front yard here, and got a nice hole here. It was giving me a 22 to 24. I dug down, and believe it or not, I pulled out 4 Wheaties out of the one hole, and one of them is a 44 Philadelphia, 54 Denver, 56 Denver, and one to be determined. It's got a little crustiness on it, but I think it might be an older one. But pretty cool. Definitely like that. I was hoping maybe there'd be a little silver hiding in between those pennies, but not to be. But I'll take 4 of these. Well, next thing was give me a 13, and pretty cool. It's the hammer from an old toy cap gun. It's a neat old find right there too. Well, I think I might have something cool in this hole. Right up against a tree in the front yard of this very old house. I was getting a 21, and I just went ahead and dug it. And check out what is in the hole. Something big and round, and I have no idea what it is. So I grabbed the camera. We're gonna find out together. Ooh, it's pretty substantial. What in the world? I'm thinking English penny. Oh, it is. Look at that. There's Britannia. Wow, a big British copper. Ah, gotta love that. That was about 3 inches down. That was it. Let's see. I think it's gonna be 1930s. See if I can just get that date to show up here. These clean up beautifully. But see if you can catch that. Trying to find some light here. Wow, look at that. 1929. How cool is that? I love digging these. I'll tell you what, just how beautiful, big old coin. Well, wait until you see this one. It was giving me a 21, and I've been digging up all kinds of screw bottle caps. And I got another 21. I'm like, well, let's get this one out of the ground. But check it out. Pretty unusual looking, huh? Yeah, this is pretty wild. Watch this. Look at that. Both sides of a compact and an oval one in the open position. How crazy is that? I have never dug one out of the ground like that. That is awesome. Now I'm assuming it's a compact. It could have been an aspirin. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with it too much right now. We're just going to put it to the side and I'll take it home and clean it up later. But that is awesome to find both pieces still connected. Well, this next thing was giving me a 15, and a pretty cool little item. Looks to be a old bicycle bell. So pretty cool find right there too. Well, this is pretty interesting. I got a 13, 14, a few inches down, and this popped out. So I'm not real sure what that is. Some kind of a piece of jewelry, I think. Here's the back side, I believe. So, I don't know, I'll get that cleaned up and a little later and we'll see what it looks like, but pretty cool little piece of costume jewelry. Oh, I tell you, I can't believe what I just found. I got an 18, sometimes a 19. I dug down, popped it out, and I thought, well, that cannot be a quarter, and then I briefly looked at it. Look at what's facing me. You see the number 10 on it. It's another one of those early grocery store tokens. Holy cow. Another one for my collection. I tell you what, I hunted here for years and years and years. Never found one of these. But I will say, the last couple of years, I have found quite a few of them. Yep, there it is, BWD Gorels. Good for 10 cents in trade. Wow, the way I've been finding them lately, you wouldn't think these were rare, but they are. Awesome brass token. Gonna date right around 1900 to 1910. Can't believe I got another one. Well, I'll tell you, I was speechless, and I was so happy that I was so lucky to find another one of these old grocery store tokens. And I decided, well, that calls for another group photo to show you all the ones that I've been very fortunate to have found so far. Well, I got very lucky while I was out there metal detecting because I got 4 more brand new permissions to go metal detecting on. And I can't wait to give them a try this week. Now, I had a real blast out there last week, and here's another look at all the very cool things that I was able to find in this episode. Well, I absolutely love old photographs that offer us a glimpse of what life was like in our towns back in the good old days. And I really think you're going to love these oldies, so don't go anywhere just yet because they're coming up right now. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure, and I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.